Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. In the spirit of the 60th independence anniversary of Nigeria, most renowned Nigerians have spoken up and they have pointed some very valid points that will help progress the country to a reasonable future. And Atiku is not left out amongst these very renowned Nigerians, as he has, taken up the need to talk to the current administration, making mention of some very key stuff, things that will help fix the country and revive it from the position that it is right now in every respect. And where our focus is what he had to tell the federal government about the separatist group, which involves Biafra and also Oduduwa agitators. And he let them understand, or let the president understand, something very factual, which we are going to look at in a jiffy. And I want you to come with me. But before we continue, if you've not subscribed to our channel, kindly hit on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our videos. All right, let's look at what the former vice president Atiku Abubakar had to say. The former PDP presidential aspirant Atiku Abubakar has said that the force of arm alone cannot dissuade agitators of Biafra and Oduduwa Republic from continuing with their demand to exit Nigeria. According to Atiku, he said, until the Nigerian leadership lives up to the country motto of unity and faith, peace and progress, and until every citizen feel carry along call for separation will continue to arise. The former vice president stated this in his message to Nigeria on the country's 60th independent anniversary celebration. According to him, he said, we cannot defeat separatist group by force of arms alone. We can only defeat separatism by making all Nigerians feel like they belong. And this is only possible when we live up to the words of our national motto, unity and faith, peace and progress, he said. Atiku also cautioned the federal government against incessant borrowing, which he claims threatened the country's economic independence. According to him, he said, as a nation, we asserted our independence in our infancy by lending to others. We must be careful not to lose the hard-won independence of our heroes past. By learning to live within our means, we can put a stop to the needless borrowings that threaten our economic independence. He added that our nation is in the need of healing. We must foster unity and thus the tense atmosphere which is breeding feelings of alienations. We must promote freedom of speech and freedom after speech. As such, in the spirit of our 60th independent anniversary celebration, I call on the federal and state government to release all political prisoners and detainees and discontinue the prosecution of such individuals. If Nelson Mandela could reconcile with those who imprisoned him for 27 years, we can reconcile with those who have disagreed with us. Article further on those who have taken up arms against Nigeria to have a rethink. Whatever differences they may have with the rest of Nigeria, whether religious, ethnic, or political, terror, violence, and separatism are not the way. Let us learn from history. In Ireland, Israel, and Balkans, such groups have seen the wisdom in giving up armed struggle for participation in political process. There is much wisdom in the saying that to Jojo is better than to war. I like that. We must accept the reality that we are all brothers and sisters, sad by fatherland, he added. Wow. Now, this is really interesting because what he has said now is what listening to and also adopting. Especially the issue when we're talking about the issue of forgiving some of our political enemies who are currently in prison. It's very, very serious. We have long list of them who are currently in prison and they are still facing prosecution. For example, if you want to make mention of someone like the leader of IPOB, that's Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, the man is still, despite the fact he's outside the country, he's still under prosecution. And what this guy has said here is a pointer to the fact that he's inclusive in this, you know. I'm just thinking now, how about if the current administration forgive him and call him to a round table for talks? Because right now, these guys are neck bent on achieving their purpose of separating. And guess what? If you like it, you believe this, the truth is that Nigeria will not be what it is today if the Igbos were not part of us. They have contributed tremendously. Most of the time, the name Nigeria become real to most countries because of their international trade. Tell you the whole truth. So their importance should not be underestimated. They are overly important. They make up this country. When you talk about Nigeria, Nigeria can never be complete except the Igbos are inclusive. And what this guy is saying here is something worth giving ears to. I tell you the whole truth. Let's discontinue every form of prosecution of some political enemies, whether those enemies came as a result of whatever reason, as much as it's good enough then, but then forgiveness can go an extra mile in correcting a lot of things. I just heard from one of the northern governors who had released some prisoners today because of the independence. He decided to just let me forgive these few people and release them. I feel that even at the national level that should be done. Raising arms against certain persons when we already know that we are brothers does not make any sense. This guy was talking yesterday, Jerry Useni, who was a former military administrator of the defunct Bendel state, was talking yesterday and he said something very striking. What was that? He talked about having to fight with people whom you were once brothers during the Biafran war, that it was painful to see himself lifting up weapons against those who were actually his friends, who were trained in the same academy, who had been protecting the territories of Nigeria together. But because of ethnic differences, he found himself fighting those people. He felt bad about it. And that's why he said, I do not want anything about this issue of break up and all of that. Atiku has raised a very valid point, which I feel that we should let go of whatever party differences we have and hearken to some of this information that is filtering in at an important time like this. Go to the social media, go and check a lot of things going on, and the statement Nigerians are making, I'm telling you, it is not interesting at all. Forget about, yeah, we talk about the issue of the protest, which is very sensitive, which is very important, because this is the same thing most people had done in the past, and they were, looked down upon, and before we know, it culminated into something that today is fighting us. We should listen to those who are protesting, those whom we have taken into maybe for one reason or one crime or the other that they have committed. We should revisit their case again. And even it means calling them to round table. The Yorubas have started also. Oduduwa, they are so strong and they are demanding to secede from Nigeria. It's good to call some of the stakeholders and call them to table and say, what is the problem? Let's fix Nigeria. The beauty of Nigeria, I tell you the whole truth, if we talk about the beauty of Nigeria, is because of the numerous ethnic groups that have decided to join together. It makes me sometimes remember heaven. Yes. If you read this, a particular scripture in the Holy Bible that talks about that, and I see in the book of Revelation, it talks about, it said, I see a great crowd. And those great crowd, they were coming from different backgrounds, from different nations, from different countries, from different races, from different tribes. They came together to glorify God. Nigeria sometimes remind me of that. So whatever we can do to make sure that we restore it. Yes, I know Biafrans, those guys are too hot. I tell you the whole truth. If we want to be real, I don't know, but I feel that we can still try something. But guess what? They are overly hot. Hot because there are still some wound that is still there many years ago. There are things that have been done to them that is overly painful to them. And unfortunately, what is making it look so horrible is the fact that, unfortunately, for one reason or the other, which I can't even explain, the same fight is still there, staring at their face, making them feel somehow. I feel that at this point, that the president should look at what Atiku Abubakar has said and let us see how we can unite together. Look at the issue of borrowing that he had made mention of. What makes a country overly strong? Let's forget about country self. Let's talk about ourselves as individual. What is that thing that makes people respect you? Nobody respects a borrower. I tell you the whole truth. No matter how good you are, no matter how smart you are, no matter your human resources, no matter your abilities, no matter your academic qualification, no matter your industrial achievement, nobody respects you if you are fond of borrowing every now and then. It shows that you are not up to the level of being who you claim you are. The hand of the borrower is always under the hand of the giver, of the lender. And that's the situation. At one point, we need to look inwards and fix some issues in this country that is not permitting Nigeria to become that stable country we were before. I think that this particular, anniversary, that's independent anniversary, is a time for us to reflect back at where we made the mistake and see how we can correct it. We need to reflect back at where did we hurt these people? Where did we take this step? Why is things like this? We sit back as a people. Stakeholders should be called upon from different quarters. Let's sit down and fix this issue. Look at today, we cannot even boast of agriculture again. Why? Because terrorism has taken over our country. We need to work together again. That's where I'd like to leave it. Go to our comment section. Let us interact. What do you have to say about the statement made by Atiku in respect to reconciling all fronts back to the country, in respect to putting down arms against those who are separatist group, the likes of Biafran group and Oduduwa?